Yes, indeed. What's going on, y'all? Yes, indeed. This is the 18th day of Black HERSTORY. Okay, Black HERSTORY month. And we're going to get an 18th day to the first black female that was elected to run for the presidency. Yes, sir. Yeah. She made history. To my understanding, she is from Brooklyn, New York. She served in Bed-Stuy, New York for about 12, 13 years in the New York district. She was the first black female in Congress, right? So she got a lot of firsts. This woman right here was real tough. And this was the 1970s, coming off of the civil rights movement. She was an activist coming off the civil rights movement. So you already know, you had to be a bold something jack to make those kind of moves. You had to be a bold something jack. So she was brave, bold, tenacious, all of the things this woman stood for. And I want to say this about women back then, right? I gotta say this. Women back then, and I'm talking about like the early goddamn 70s, and we're not talking about the 60s. We talking about early goddamn 70s, right? Those type of women that I'm sure watched a lot of shit go down and knew a lot of stuff that went down with their family members that went down, right? I'm pretty sure. Do you know the trauma that they probably faced back then? And I'm sure anybody that's born in the late 60s or mid 60s, early 70s, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you ever seen the trauma that came from the 50s and 60s and you made it through, salute to you. Salute to you for making it through that. Because I can't fathom going through the 60s, watching MLK them get beat and bit. You know what I'm saying? Beat with billy clubs and shit, and get bit by goddamn dogs and shit. I cannot imagine that. I cannot imagine watching that type of behavior against my folks and me not retaliating. I cannot imagine that. Salute to all of you who came through that particular time in history. Salute to you. I know God has got to be with you, baby, because, baby, I ain't set up like that, boo. I'm sorry. I love MLK as much as I love him. I really do. But, baby, those 80s babies ain't playing that shit right there. So, anyway, I want to get back to the person I'm talking about. This is a phenomenal woman. She definitely was a powerful woman. And she's to be honored and respected on this day. 18th day of Black HERSTORY goes to the Honorable Shirley Chisholm. Okay? So if you don't know who Shirley Chisholm is, baby, and I think her day in New York, they gave her a day in New York. I think it's November the 30th. Somebody correct me. If you're from New York City and you understand and you know the date, hey, excuse me, I stand to be corrected. But if you know the date that she's honored, this black woman, chocolate black woman too. She wasn't no light bright, she was chocolate. Elected into Congress and told y'all that she was unbossed. Now, baby, you gotta have a different type of energy to be unbought and unbossed. You hear me? And that's what a lot of us carry now. So when people say, oh, well, you could be further along if you did just this and that. No. If you unbought and unbossed, you're going to be exactly where you're supposed to be. Doing it the way it's supposed to be done. All right. So shout out to all my unbossed people. You dig what I'm saying? Keep pushing. You hear me? Keep pushing.